Before I get started with this story, I have to give a huge shout out to Natoya Wayne for sending me this story. And the reason why I'm giving her a huge shout out is because we actually had a back and forth discussion about this topic. And I rarely have that kind of discussion with my subscribers on topics. Usually it'll be like, if I do respond, it'll be like, wow, that's crazy, or I'll talk about it when I get the chance. But this one was different. Reason being, because this subscriber actually has a connection to this individual. Now, they're not related, thank God. And I highly doubt they would be, because I'm going to assume that Natoya is black. As we can see, this guy is white. And, well, at least biologically, let's put it that way. But the reason why they have a connection is because, based on what Natoya was telling me in so many words without me going into a complete discussion about what we talked about, is they used to like, I guess you could say, work together, so to speak. And she was basically telling me how she would have suspicions about this guy and things that he was doing while trying to be on the low. But you know, sometimes that woman's instinct just like, it just clicks and just something just seems off. Well, I'm glad her instincts pretty much kicked in, because what she assumed was going on actually was going on, and it all pretty much just came out. Now, I'm not going to tell you what we discussed in its entirety in the email discussion we had, because that's personal and that's really nobody's business but ours. But thank you, Natoya, for giving me as much information as you possibly could. Now to this actual story itself. This man's name is Jonathan West, and would you believe he's 26 years old? I would have never guessed that he was 26 until I saw the age next to his name, because he looks older than me, and I'm 3 years older than him. But basically, Jonathan West has pretty much been accused of sexual abuse, and he basically has a series of allegations of messing with these little boys as a tumbling coach, because he works at like a gymnastics facility. And when I first started reading the story, it immediately reminded me of that sick ass gymnastics coach from last year who was messing with them girls, who got all those years put on him so he could go to jail. This story is like literally right up that alley, but the only difference is this guy was messing around with little boys, and that's something that Natoya was explaining to me in one of the in the emails, that she would constantly like see him, or have constantly see boys always huddled around him and stuff of that nature. I'm saying the stories become even more interesting when the subscriber has a connection to the actual story itself. But let me go ahead and read this article coming from the New Orleans Advocate. Well, it's the Advocate. More details were revealed Tuesday about allegations of sexual abuse by 26-year-old allegedly Kenner gymnastics teacher Jonathan West, including numerous accounts of sexual interactions with 6 young boys over the last 2 years. Some of those alleged interactions include masturbating in front of the victims, showing pornography to a 10-year-old boy, and asking for a photo of a 13-year-old boy's genitals through an Instagram message. Much of the abuse took place during car rides West offered the boys, as he took them to Flip Nasty's gym in Luling, where he taught 4 of them gymnastics. West was arrested Thursday by the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office on 10 counts of sexual battery and 2 counts of indecent behavior with a juvenile, after one of the boys came forward with accusations a day earlier. He was booked on 2 additional counts of indecent behavior with a juvenile on Tuesday. The new details of West's alleged abuse emerged at a hearing Tuesday, where his bail was set at $190,000, and he was ordered to stay away from the alleged victims, one of whom claimed that instances of abuse took place 20 times over a 3-month period. Records show this is far from the first time West has faced allegations of sexual misconduct. West and another man were arrested in February in 2011 and accused of aggravated rape after a woman said they assaulted her inside of a car near Willow and Dante Streets in uptown New Orleans. At the time, West was 19. The case, which was investigated by New Orleans police detective Merrill Merricks, never led to an indictment, as the Orleans Parish District Attorney's Office chose not to prosecute West, citing a lack of evidence. I bet they wish they did now. In 2016, Maris is one of 5 NOPD officers reprimanded after an inspector general office report said they had failed to properly report or document numerous sexual assault cases. West's case was not one of those mentioned in a follow-up NOPD Public Integrity Bureau report that documented cases the department's sex crimes unit had mishandled. However, West was back in custody 1 year later after another accusation of sexual abuse, this time in Kenner. He was accused of sexually abusing a 3-year-old boy, but once again, did not face indictment because of what authorities said was a lack of evidence. See, I think what it is they know that this guy is a problem, but they're constantly letting him off the hook. But I think this time they probably have enough to get him, but we'll see. They always say third time's the charm. In light of the new allegations, Kenner Police Department spokesman Lieutenant Brian McGregor said that case will be reviewed. On Monday, West faced yet another accusation as a 10-year-old boy in Kenner came forward saying he had been sexually abused by West. The boy was also involved with West through gymnastics, according to McGregor, though he did not confirm whether he also attended flipnastics for lessons. State records show the Luling facility owner is Rhea Defreen, who declined to comment. West remains in custody at the Jefferson Parish Correctional Center. Should he post bail, Magistrate Commissioner Paul Schneider said he should be placed on house arrest. So this guy has a history, and based on the emails that was sent to me in the discussion that I had, I can see how. So it goes all the way back to 2011. So he went back from sexually assaulting or / raping women to sexually assaulting and sexually abusing boys, and he basically got off on both of them. Now let's see if it's going to actually stick this time. Like I said, they said third time is the charm, but in this establishment, and when you think about what happened with Brock Turner 2 years ago and a few others that happened that year, I wouldn't be surprised if he walks away from this as well. He's obviously being protected, and I wouldn't be surprised if he has a reputation down there where people will all back him up, even though they probably know that this guy is a goddamn menace to society. And speaking of, and you know I'm gonna go there, this story is pretty much out there now. I would like to know why those Me Too heifers and them times up skanks have not hopped all over this story. Oh, I forgot 2 things. 1, he's not famous, and 2, he's not black and famous. They are a funny bunch, aren't they? Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you in the next one. Oh, and another thing. Another reason why they probably didn't hop all over this too is because he sexually assaulted little boys, not little girls.